Hey guys, you want a funny story? I actually was just trying to record this video, and I actually accidentally ended up explaining the plot to Assassin's Creed 2 the first 2 minutes, and I feel like a complete idiot right now. But I don't know. Maybe it's because it's Ezio and it's the same damn story, I guess. Anyway, this is Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, not Assassin's Creed 2, Mike. Jeez. Alright. So, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Now, Brotherhood, it basically, you're put right in it at the end of the second game, where you are basically in Roma. You're in Italy. You just took down the Pope. Yes, I said the Pope. And you have to get out now. You have to get out of there. And you get out of there with the help of his Uncle Mario. And as the combat in this game is way better than it was in the second one. The combat is way better. I felt like that the combat was... It was good. It was good. It was excellent, actually. It was excellent. It was probably one of the better combat to a lot of people. And honestly, as it stands with Assassin's Creed games, the combat that was there in this game was probably the ideal gameplay for what we wanted from other installments. But instead we got other mechanics and other I don't know, I guess types of combat in the game that just seemed very, very kind of just what's the word I'm looking for? It's just random types of gameplay we got in a couple games lately in the Assassin's Creed genre. But the combat in this game is good. This is probably one of the most ideal and the most combat that we wanted from this series, and it was a complete upgrade from what a lot of people think from number 1, number 2. So yeah, there we go with the combat. The combat is pretty smooth. I feel like I feel like in the second one I didn't get to finish my enemy enough. But in this game, you actually get to perform multi-kills, where if you counter-kill the enemy, or if you actually work enough to kill the enemy, you get to immediately kill the other one instead of, mashing the X button a few times until he finally dies. He takes him down way quicker. I felt it was really satisfying. It was really satisfying to do that to the enemies. Anyway, continuing on with the story. So, after he escapes Roma, and after the awesome theme song comes on, and, sequence done and all that stuff, good stuff. No, it wasn't. I'm joking with you. The sequence is not over. So, basically, we get to the point in this game where you're back at month... I can't say the name. You know that from the last video. I forgot how to say the name. I'm not Italian. I cannot speak that language. So it's hard for me to do that with my vocal cords. You know what I mean. I'm not going to explain it. Anyway, so we get back there and to Uncle Mario's home, and we basically are welcomed with a great welcome back. It felt good just being Ezio and doing that. It felt great just for the player himself to be welcomed back to it, even if it is a new player. Even if it is a new player, it still feels satisfying. You get there, your sister sees you, she gives you a hug, she lets you know that Katharina, is it Katharina or is it Katarina? I don't know. It's one of those. So it's one of those. I think that... Hey, just reviewing the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
So you're not playing any games?
No, not right now.
We're already halfway down here. Why the fuck do I turn around and come back up there?
So after Ezio was welcomed back to his uncle's home, he basically just walks around. You get to explore the place a little bit, and you get to kind of feel the revenge from the last game. If you played it before, kind of leave. It's not there anymore. He feels accomplished. He feels happy. He feels happy. He didn't murder him.
Yes, he did. He murdered a bunch of other guys.
He murdered a bunch of other guys though, but he feels better about it now.
Yeah,
he's like I feel better about it now. I killed majority of them. I feel pretty good now. So he feels pretty good now. He's walking around. He's helping everybody he comes across. He's just happy to do all that. He has all the time in the world. I quote. And then he finally gets, after all that's done, he comes to a meeting with the assassins, or what's left of the assassins, and he talks to them about what happened with the Pope, and he explains that he let him live and that he is alive still, and one of them is angry. He doesn't understand why he let him live, and so that person goes back, was his name, Niccolo, goes back to Rome, and Ezio just is sitting there like, I don't care, whatever. Goes upstairs, goes to sleep, and then the next morning, his place just gets bombarded. The place gets bombarded.
Lost his awesome armor.
The Borgia comes in. You lose the armor of Altair and the sword of Altair, which just pissed me off.
Sword!
Which pissed me off.
Get it? The mighty sword? Because this is a real sword right here.
That's not the sword of Altair, just so you guys know.
But it's a good metal sword that can still stab you.
It's heavy as shit, and you're ruining
I can hold it with one hand.
I gotta continue the video.
Then you can't lift weights, but I can hold this with one hand.
Excuse me? I can hold that with one hand.
It's not heavy.
I can strike you with one hand.
It's not heavy. You can't say it's heavy.
It's not heavy, but it has some pretty good weight on it.
It's a pirate sword.
It's a two-handed weapon. That's what it is.
It's a pirate sword. The skulls.
It's a two-handed weapon.
It's a pirate sword.
The people in the comments are going to agree with me that's a two-handed weapon. You guys are going to agree with me.
It's a two-handed. But that's Edward's sword. No. That's Edward's sword. It's the skulls.
No, it's not. Edward has two swords, and we're not even to that game yet.
Yeah. It's skulls on it.
That was probably the best combat ever. We're going to get to that game soon, and I will talk about why that was probably my favorite. Anyway, let's get back to the review.
No. Are you going to do a review on Altair's sword in that Syndicate blade you're going to get?
You mean an unboxing?
Yeah.
We can do an unboxing.
Yeah,
we can do an unboxing.
And I can do my unboxing. My sword to stab you.
You guys will like that.
So
we'll do an unboxing. Anyway, so where was I? Okay, so the place gets bombarded. Ezio loses everything that he has. He has to rush to the cannons and fight back against the Borgia from Rome. Shut up. And just everything, all the shit is just hitting the fan. Everything is just burning. Like his whole world to him is burning again, because just burning again. So now then it gets to a point where after you fight for a while, Mario is kidnapped, or he gets beaten up, or he's defeated. Ezio comes running on the building to building, while the Borgia prepare to shoot him. He finally just makes it. He makes it to the another building, and then he gets shot at the same time as his Uncle Mario gets shot in the head by Cesare, that fucking bastard. He was probably the worst. No, we'll get to him later. So he gets shot. And then, fast forward, and now you're injured. You lost all that health, and now you got just this little chunk of health, like 5 little chunks of health. And then you got to fight with the mercenaries to get to the basement and get everybody out of there. And then that's the end of the sequence. And then we get back to Desmond, where he wakes up and he gets to actually explore that same place that got bombarded. And it was kind of cool because you could get out of the animus in this game this time. And you could replay memories, which was really cool. I did appreciate how the chemistry worked with Lucy. We get coming with characters back like Lucy. We get Sean again. We get Rebecca. I don't know if I talked about them enough in the game, but I will talk about them as much as I can because they are in a lot of the games. I feel like I don't talk about enough of them. Maybe because I don't know. Maybe it's because I gotta work on just talking about it. Okay. So what did I say? That we're gonna talk about the characters? Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about the characters. If you guys don't know Desmond is the main character. He is basically he was taken prisoner and then he got help getting out of the situation he was in. But Desmond's character, he basically is a little cocky guy like Ezio is. He's a lot like Ezio. Let's say he's a lot like Ezio, as far as how his style of just everything. The game kind of makes it. The last 3 games make it just Ezio based off of him a little bit, not really, but kind of, because they are both played by different actors, voice actors in the game. Lucy is. We will talk more about her at the end of this review, but she was portrayed in the first game as a Templar, but then she switched sides and now she is an assassin. Or she was an assassin, but she was a double agent and she's working for the assassins. Although we will get to the reasons why that double agent scenario is actually switched, and we'll talk about that later. But we'll keep going with the characters. I feel like I did not talk about this enough, and I want to talk about this here. So let's talk about Rebecca. Rebecca is a very likable character. She's into sports. She's into... But then she hurt herself, and then she got into computers, and then she eventually joined the Assassins. Sean is just kind of that little... He's funny. He's a funny dude because he's a sarcastic prick. He's a very sarcastic prick. And I think that's what makes his character so good and so well delivered half the time. So anyway, let's continue back into the Animus with the characters. That way I can explain them more. Okay, so after he saves all the people, after Ezio saves all the people, and he is able to basically recuperate, he finds out that someone brought him to Roma, and we never get to know who did bring him to Roma. And if you guys do know who brought him to Roma, leave them in that in the description below, because I don't remember. So basically, we get to Roma. Now we're in Roma. We get to explore Roma. Ezio gets himself healed real quick. He finds a doctor. He gets his costume, everything. The game starts introducing you to all the quirky mechanics to the game, all the new things in the game, which is really nice. In this game, you can ride horses in the city now, which is kind of a nice little thing because this is kind of a sandbox, so it does help to do that. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about some other characters in this game. Let's talk about Ezio's mom. Ezio's mom is... She's not very shown to us a lot. She's kind of a side character in this one. I feel like that she is more of of course she's a supporting role, but she's not really there all the time. Claudia is there a lot of times. She actually becomes an assassin through the games. While the game is going through, she becomes an assassin because she proves to Ezio, her brother, that she can defend herself. She can take responsibility for herself and for what she's doing, and that's really a good way. It's a brother and sister relationship. It's good to have that little subplot, and I think that was there the moment We got Naroma, which is really nice. As far as other characters, okay, let's talk about the main villain. The main villain, Cesare Borgia. Cesare Borgia is kind of, I don't know. He just seems like your typical villain. You know, there's not much to him. He just kind of rolls up. He's like, I'm gonna take everything like Alexander the fucking Great. Like I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. He just seems like your typical bad guy that you're just supposed to kill. He doesn't seem interesting. He didn't seem interesting. He just was kind of your typical bad guy who thinks that he's invincible. And he controls an army. He's your typical bad guy. That's it. I just told you that character to you. He's your typical bad guy that just wants control of everything. He's like Alexander the Great. He's like Alexander the Great because he wants to take control of everything, and it's really fucking stupid. Oh, you guys want to hear something even sick? Okay, so he has a sister, and apparently they're a thing. I guess that was a thing back in the day, apparently, to be a thing with your sister, which is like, what the fuck? For nowadays, the present day standards, that's like, what the fuck moment, but I don't think that's even allowed. She is a supporting character. She's not really she is not really there a lot. She is bratty. She is hot tempered. She that's it. That's how she is. She's bratty. She's hot tempered, and she's got a thing for her brother, I guess. But this quickly changes as we progress through the game. So I'm not going. I don't know. I'm not going to explain the entire damn game. I'm not going to go through the entire damn story. I will start telling you some cool perks in the game that I like. I like burning Borgia towers. I like that there was this new mechanic with that you can recruit assassins, and that's really cool because we never got to do that before. And when they introduced this to us and the way they showed us this, it was really cool. It was nice recruiting someone and helping them and then building up to become an assassin. There's even a ceremony where they actually become an assassin. They don't just become an assassin through level up like in future installments, but they get to that point where they become an assassin, and you explain their creed to them and everything. It's really cool. It's a really nice mechanic. I thought it's great. I feel like I don't get to play that game enough because I just play all the new ones these days. I played the hell out of that because I was an Assassin's Creed fan the moment the first game came out. As soon as the first game came out, I was all over that shit. I was playing that game for forever. Like that game was the shit to me. But then number 2 came out, then Brotherhood, and now we're at Brotherhood. What else? So the game itself. Okay, I guess I can spoil it maybe if you guys want me to. So like I said, he's your typical bad guy. You get him in the end. It wasn't very interesting. I thought what was interesting was the twist in the present day when we find out that we assume that Lucy was actually a Templar and she was a double agent. So she was actually a Templar doing all this stuff, but she was like a sleeper agent or something, some people say. Honestly, I don't know. I could care less. I actually disagreed. I thought that she was an assassin. I don't know, because you end up having to kill her, so it's kind of hard to know for sure if she was a traitor. So it kind of just mind fucks with you. And then at the end of this game, Desmond is put into a coma, and he can't do anything. And then that's it. That's the end of the game. And then we get that awesome theme music. And then, so I don't know. That was the review. What were some things that What were some things that I didn't like? I guess. What didn't I like? I didn't like the main villain. I thought the main villain was very But because of the supporting other villains, I feel like that the villain was strong. So I felt like because of the other villains that were in this game supported the main villain. So I don't know. I think that it was the villain for me. So I think that's the only thing that brings it down. I'm gonna have to give this game a 9 out of 10. I got an idea. I'm gonna start doing fingers. We should do fingers. So let's do. Why did I forget? 9. It's a 9 out of 10. Should I do that? Should I start making that a thing with my fingers? Because instead of just putting a number up on the screen, just flash my fingers and then there you go. There's the score and count my fingers. Or I can just tell you the score, and if you didn't hear me, you can just read my fingers. I guess I don't know. But anyway, guys, that's the review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I tried to go as much in depth as possible. I will be dishing out. I hope I can dish out Revelations one tonight. I would love to sit and have another 20-minute discussion. I probably even make it a 30-minute because that game is the shit, and I'm going to explain to you why in that review. But until then, guys, keep rocking and rolling, and I will see you on my next Assassin's Creed review.